In this video I want to give you a very quick introduction to the Invisible Internet Project, short I2p. I will show you how to set up a I2p daemon so that you are part of the network and can participate. I will show you also how to visit I2p websites, and I will also show you file sharing via I2p, or more specifically via torrents. So in this right here I'm currently downloading an Tails ISO. So this I will also show you. Alright, so let me go back to this browser window. So this is the official I2p website with the official kind of software and all of that. But we will not be using this because it's kind of, well, you could say kind of bloated. It's written in Java and it has a lot of features and all that. It's very full featured, but we will rather be using, or I will show you, the I2p daemon. So this is the i2pd website. So, I mean, the domain is literally i2pd.website. And the domain for this is i2pd.net. So, not i2p.net, sorry. Alright, so this is a separate project which also implements the I2p protocol, so Invisible Internet Protocol, but it implements it in C++. So this is way more efficient. To install this on Alpine, you can just install it via the default repositories. So if I go here, open up a terminal, and now I can search for I2p, and it will actually show me the I2p daemon. So like this. So the package is i2pd and i2pd.openrc for the openrc run it for the openrc daemon file, right? So you can just install it with not install but add i2pd and i2pd.-openrc, right? And I have of course already done this. So yeah, it will just tell me okay. So after you have installed it, you can just start the I2p daemon by just doing rc service i2pd and then start. And I have already started it, so if I call status, it tells me started. Status, it tells me started, right? So everything's fine and well. After that, you can look at the i2pd web console, and I have pulled it up in this Chromium window right here. So this web console, it's at localhost 7070. So 7070, and that just tells you all the stats of your I2p daemon, right? The uptime, network stat, I mean, it tells me firewalled, and I mean, that's because I'm in like a local network which has these ports, which has the I2p daemon ports firewalled, but it's fine. Then tunnel creation success rate, data received, data sent, and so on and so forth. The data path and all this kind of stuff, and you can also look at I2p tunnels and whatnot. So there's a lot of stuff here, but yeah, practically you don't really have to care about this stuff. Here are also services. So what we'll be using is HTTP proxy to be able to actually visit I2p websites. All right. So now the daemon is running, great. So next up, we want to visit I2p websites, right? And for this, again, HTTP proxy, we will be using this, and this Chromium window right here is already set up with this HTTP proxy from this I2p daemon. So I can now, for example, visit this tracker site. So postman tracker2.postman.i2p is the domain, and this is for torrents, which I will show you later. But we can also visit other I2p sites. So I think one I had pulled up was git.i2p. So this is a Git service on I2p. So if I visit that, and then I, for example, I mean, you can see the site here, and then I can click Explorer, and yeah. And I think this tells you not secure because these sites are not secured with normal SSL, and you also proxy them through your I2p daemon, right? So yeah, this will tell you not secure, but I mean, it's an I2p site. It can only be reached via the I2p protocol. Yeah, so everything's encrypted and all that. So, and here you can see Git repositories and whatnot, and repositories and whatnot. And there are also other sites, of course, like community forums and whatnot. So you can find a lot of stuff on I2p. But I will leave that for you to explore. Oh yeah, and totally forgot, I kind of got off on a tangent. How you now open this. So I think with Firefox you have settings, you have a settings menu where you must input your HTTP proxy, and then you can input localhost, and then the proxy, the port it's bound to is 4444. So 4444. And with Chromium, you can do it through different way. Where is it? Here, right here. So I do it like this. So Chromium nix image, because I've installed Chromium via it's not in the Alpine repositories, so I've installed it via dbin, which is like another like separate package manager. I already made a video on that, so if you're interested, you can watch that. Then I call it with a different user data directory. So I have all my i2p like browser session in like a different data directory. So, but this is kind of this maybe not be necessary, or maybe you don't need this if you don't want to have it like that. And then you need to specify proxy-server, and here we'll specify 127.0.0.1 and then 4444 for the i2p daemon HTTP proxy, and then all of your requests will be proxied through this daemon, and thus you can visit .i2p sites, which of course you can't so if I paste this in a normal, so this will not of course work, right? Because .i2p is not a valid top level domain. Alright, so yeah, that's that. And also I forgot to say that there's of course also a GitHub repository for i2p, or a Git repository for i2pd, and it's on GitHub, and I mean you can read more about it here, right? They have also releases here, but it's in the Alpine repository, so I thought I would just use that. All right. Next up, I want to show you how you can download torrents via i2p, and I think this is maybe I should have talked about a bit more about the differences between i2p and Tor, the Tor network. And I think the biggest difference, or the biggest practical difference, let me start differently. The big difference between i2p and the Tor network is that in i2p is kind of peer-to-peer, right? So you are always also relaying traffic while your traffic is being relayed. With the Tor network, there's kind of a server-client infrastructure, right? So there are these Tor relays, and they relay traffic, and that's all they do. And you as a Tor user, you use these relays, right? But with i2p, it's different. There are no like fixed relays, and it's all kind of connected together. So that's also why you run a daemon, right? And with Tor, that's not, I guess, yeah, that is also the case, but you don't have clients connecting to you with Tor, right? But rather you only connect to others, or to these relays. And that's also the reason why i2p is not really, it's not really focused on like enabling you to visit the ClearNet via an anonymous layer, right? So it's really more of its own thing. It's not meant to kind of anonymize you in regards to ClearNet sites. All right, so, but also a difference between i2p and Tor is that i2p allows UDP traffic. So not only TCP, so, I mean, I kind of expect you to know what TCP and UDP are, but suffice it to say that UDP is required for torrents. And this is the reason why you can't torrent over Tor. At least the actual torrent traffic cannot flow over the Tor network, because that's not how it works, right? But with i2p, it's different. So there's a documentation site for i2pd with i2pd, which is linked right here. So documentation, and here it says a bunch of stuff, also installing, configuring, running, all this kind of stuff. Oh, also you can have like instant messaging over i2p. You can of course host your own sites and so on and so forth. There's a bunch of stuff, but I will show you simply torrenting or file sharing. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff here. So software is where you want to go. So file sharing, then software, anonymous file sharing, and there are a bunch of clients right here. And the one I will be showing you is i2p Snark standalone. Why standalone? Because i2p Snark is actually part of the official i2p like software stack, you could say, or software distribution. So when you download these releases, you will get a bunch of stuff if you run this official i2p daemon. And one of the parts of this software composition, you could say, or this big daemon, is i2p Snark, which is a BitTorrent client. So you can download i2p Snark standalone from a separate project, which is called i2p+. And this is now, I mean, it already says it right here, i2p+ is an is an enhanced version of the Java I2p anonymizing network platform, blah blah blah, superior user experience, etc. So more features, more stuff. Okay, great. But they also have i2p snark standalone right here. So if you go to download, you can download it from here. And yeah, you can download it here over the ClearNet, or here over Tor, I think, and here over i2p. So yes. And if you download this, you will get a zip. And well, no, let me think. No, let me actually show you, because you need to do one thing when you want to run this with i2pd, and that is, it says it right here, uses the i2cp protocol, and thus you must add this command line argument, this parameter, to your daemon. And it's pretty simple to do that. So if I go here to this terminal, and then we go to confd, and then to i2pd. And yeah, right here it says i2pd options, and there you need to, so normally this last line is not present. So normally it just looks like, it looks like this. So, and you need to add this parameter right here. So this -i2cp.enabled equals true. And if you do this, you need to, of course, restart your daemon. So do as rc service i2pd restart. And if you're on a systemd distribution, it's kind of the same. You just need to find the systemd file, edit that, and then restart the service through systemd. I mean, yeah, it's like kind of analog. So, and after you do this, again, you need to download this zip. I've already done this, yeah, right here. And you need to unzip it, and then you get a directory. So for me, I downloaded it in my downloads directory. Then you will get this i2p snark directory, and in there is a script, launch-i2p snark, and you then need to run this. And so, as you can already see, i2p snark is written in Java, because the official i2p daemon is also written in Java, and that is kind of part of it. And it was kind of like standalone. It was kind of made standalone from that. So i2p snark is written in Java, so you need to install Java. And yeah, so I kind of wanted to avoid this, of course, but yeah, it is what it is, and you can't really get around that. So let me go to my where is it? My notes. I have some notes here. And yeah, so I installed, maybe you can see this, I installed OpenJDK25 JRE headless, because I think that is one of the more leaner Java distributions, or Java's packages. So where is it? JRE, yeah. So oh no, I wanted to run info on that. So it's like 226 megabytes. So yeah, I mean, it's Java, it's Java. So what can you do? But if you've installed this, so again, I installed over the Alpine repositories, I installed OpenJDK25-JRE. I think that's Java runtime environment headless. And then you can run this, and I don't know what this exception is. It works fine. So, and then you can go to localhost 8002/i2p snark and have your client running there. So I have it right here. So, and I've already added one torrent file just for demonstration purposes. And I've added a tails ISO. So yeah, your daemon is running now. Your i2p snark is running now in combination with the daemon. And also, if you don't add these command line parameters in the daemon file, this will not be able to connect. So it will tell you, it will give you an error here. Oh yeah, right here. So it's kind of connection refused, it will say, right? All right, so that's that. How do you now get torrents, you might say? Well, I've already mentioned this torrent tracker, tracker2.postman.i2p, and this is, I think, the most popular one. And I mean, you can just, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff here, of course, but I will show you how to download some Linux ISO, maybe here, Arch Linux. Why not this? So you can of course click on them, and then you get more information. And also there are users, and you can also make your own account, and again, there's a bunch of stuff. I mean, it's a torrent tracker, right? And you see the files which are included in this torrent, and also how many people are seeding it, and also like comments and whatnot. Yeah, so to now download this, you simply can copy the magnet link. So if I copy this link right here and go to my i2p snark and then press this plus right here, I can just paste this URL, and it also allows me to specify a data directory, and then I can click add torrent, and this may take a second, yes, and then it is added, and it will take a second to like start. So it shows up here how many seeders you're connected to and how many there are, and also like the progress, and you can stop it, and you see a bunch of stats, and there are also like settings and whatnot. So again, there's a bunch of stuff, but it's all very simple and intuitive. I mean, it's a torrent tracker, right? So yeah, and then it starts and it downloads, and yeah, that's it. You have to wait a bit for your Arch Linux ISO to download then. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to show in this video. So again, there's a bunch of more stuff to i2p. Of course, again, you can host your own site, you can visit sites, you can like contribute to forums and whatnot. You can also do instant messaging over i2p, and again, bunch of stuff. And the nice thing is all, of course, anonymized by the i2p network stack. So by this protocol, and yeah, I think it's very nice. I've used i2p in the past a bit, and it always just kind of worked. So yeah, and I think especially with i2pd, so with the i2p daemon, in contrast to like the full official i2p daemon, I think this is much nicer because it's more efficient and it's easier to install. You also, if you don't want to torrent, you don't even have to install Java. So, or you can also use a different client. Like there are more clients listed here, but i2p snark is just the one which I have experience with and which I think is most easiest to set up. And the others, so this is, for example, experimental, and some of them are also abandoned. And yeah, so I thought I would just show you i2p snark. All right, I think that's it. That's all I wanted to show in this video. And yeah, have a nice day.